So here it is, the Waldorf Blofeld desktop synthesizer. Firstly I'm going to run over everything on the front of the device, and then I'll look at the back, and then I'll discuss pros and cons of the unit. So first we have this rotary encoder, which you can use to select all of the sounds, as well as looking through different menus and sort of navigating through things like that. You have these two controllers here, and that basically controls whatever you sort of see above the controller on the screen. That's a really cool way of doing it. It's really easy to change sounds and edit your sounds that way, so that's great. Speaker volume here, obviously you can change the volume on that. Then you have 4 controllers here, and this works sort of a matrix system where, say, if you click utility, you can change the shape, semitone, detune, level of the oscillators, and then you go down to do the filters, modulation, and the effects and arpeggiator, and that just sort of runs up there. And that's a really quick and easy way to sort of change your sounds. And obviously that makes it incredibly easy to do live. You don't have to be scrolling through menus to find different editing parameters. You can just basically find the sort of on here which sound you want to change. Just use the controller. Really simple. And you also have visual feedback on the screen. The screen's incredibly bright, really vibrant. It's not really like any screen I've seen on a device before, and that's really cool. So yeah, the front, it's very simple, nice and easy to use. And it's definitely a synth that can be used for live performance indefinitely. Right, we're going to look at the back. So looking at the back of the synth now, I'm just going to run over everything that's on there. Headphone output, a left and right output for stereo sound, a USB, which is one of the faults that I'll go into later. MIDI in, yep, there's no MIDI out on this synth, it's just MIDI in, which is fine. It could be improved if you had that, but it's not a huge problem. 12 volt DC power, and then a power switch there. Okay then, so I'm just going to go over the pros and cons of the synthesizer. Firstly, the price of it, I think is amazing. It's really worth the money. The sounds are great, all the controls, the build quality, everything's really good. And I don't think you could probably get a synth for a similar price range as good as this. Having the desktop version obviously means you can get hands on it quicker, it's cheaper than having, if you've already got a controller keyboard like I have, so that's a really cool feature. The lack of MIDI out is a shame, but I think personally for my use I can live without that. You still have USB on it, and that's all good, so that's not a huge con, but it's something worth considering when buying the synthesizer. The whole matrix system I think is awesome. It's really easy to change your sounds when you're playing live and all that sort of stuff. Really cool. And just generally the whole control and the knobs are great quality. And it's just really easy to use, and I think that's also something you need to look out for. You don't want something you have to scroll through loads of menus. I've had that on synths before, and it's just annoying. You don't need that. So that's a really cool feature. The other sort of problem and con, I've heard this a lot, it's been on the internet and I haven't found a fix for it yet, is USB. If you've got it plugged into USB or your audio cable is going out, it generates this hum, and it's not small enough just to ignore, it's quite an obvious hum, so that's a huge problem. I'm not sure if they can get that fixed, or they're working on it, or there is a fix I haven't found yet, but that is a problem, and it's worth taking into account if you're going to be using it a lot for USB. But still, I don't really use that feature. Still a really great synthesizer, and definitely worth checking out. So there's a link below to the product page on Absolute Music, and check this thing out.